Welcome everyone to Karmic Dynasty. I am Joy Ishram here today sharing with you what I'm going to look into on a lady. Her name is Barbara O'Neill. Now today's broadcast is Nature's Crisis, a look at Barbara O'Neill. Now I always share, I'm sharing my video right now to the groups and out. So y'all can share too while I share. Either way, I always share on here how I came about the topic. And so today, what happened was I was on TikTok doing some background work, some checks. Y'all know me. I do that. And I saw this lady. I saw Barbara O'Neill. And I was going through working, as I said, so I heard it, I liked the video, and then I went on continue my work. And then the next day, I was listening, and then I was on TikTok still. I was listening, and I went to like the video, and I saw it was Barbara O'Neill, and I was like, this lady's on one. Let me check her out. Let me look into her. Now I'm going to tell y'all, originally, because I was like, this lady. And I was originally about to put that in the title, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do all that. I ain't going to be. So I just, based on everything I've found so far, I titled it as I have. Now, before I go into any more of the title and all that stuff and how I came about acknowledging those special mentions on the platform. So first I have, of course, Seba Khepra Ptah for sharing his platforms so the message from Karmic Dynasty can go out further and be shared more amongst the people. Also to the Emperor of Karmic Dynasty, Abdiel bin Levi, we are sharing to his platform over on YouTube. Tribe Up 777-999. Now, also Barbara O'Neill, definitely special mentions to her and shout outs to her. Her YouTube channel and her website and her email you can find in the description below. Also in the description, you will see a medical misinformation disclaimer for specifically YouTube, which I will address also shortly. And making a note to do that. Again, this information contained in the multimedia content posted represents the views and opinions of the original creators of such video content and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Karmic Dynasty. The mere appearance of video content on the site does not constitute an endorsement by Karmic Dynasty or its affiliates of such video content, etc., etc., etc. Now, I do have my banner. I'm going to share that. That's it. Right. Educational and informational purposes only. Karmic Dynasty. Now, what else I want to share? Right quick. Oh, you know what? Now, right quick, I'm acknowledging Barbara before we even start. Now, for so far, what I have seen of Barbara O'Neill has been what I would say are attacks on her and her attempt to share the information and advice that she shares. I also, when I look further into researching her, as I've shared with you, her YouTube channel is in the description below. So once I realized she had a YouTube channel, I'm like, and she's on this medical, this nutritional, this health tip, help us out tip. And I'm like, how, because I had one medical misinformation disclaimer on my channel. A lady came talking about natural births, and I got hit with a medical misinformation warning or whatever from YouTube. And so then I was seriously like, when I saw Barbara had a YouTube channel, I'm like, I wonder how she's real careful. She about her business that she can have a medical, they would put them, how does she avoid those medical misinformation warnings and all that feedback from YouTube? So definitely she's piqued my interest. So I'm looking further into her today And I also, in the based on what I've heard from her so far, I felt the need to come and share this with the platform because she definitely has some information that you would consider applying to your life. And in this video, because of its importance to me, with sharing it out with everyone, I'm going to be mindful and choose and select wisely my words, because I don't need this video taken down. Now, what was something else I was going to say? It'll come back to me. It'll come to me. And so it was something else. It'll come. So either way, moving forward, I am right now going to share with you the second video that brought me here today that I watched on TikTok of Barbara O'Neill. The first video I watched will be on my platform tomorrow evening when I am here with my next part of the T-shirt and no panties zone video. So that's a series. I've had a few years ago, I did part 1. I promised y'all I'd come back with some more. So that'll be tomorrow night. And I'll start off that video with, again, the first TikTok video I watched of Barbara O'Neill. And so right now, Barbara O'Neill, she is definitely coming from at least 2 points of view on our health, where I'm applying it to my life and my platform. And again, you all can consider applying it where you see best. So now, right now, I am going to share this video. Greetings to everyone that is here with me. Also, I appreciate, acknowledging the platforms. So again, comment, like, and share the videos out and to your respective platforms that you're watching from. And again, I appreciate you all on these different platforms hearing the messages from Karmic Dynasty. And I appreciate all of your comments that you make. I do visit the other platforms and check out the comments and respond and bring them to the platform of Karmic Dynasty as I see fit. So I definitely appreciate everyone for hearing the message from Karmic Dynasty that's shared out to share more with everyone through the respective platforms. So right now I'm gonna mute my mic and play this short video from TikTok of Barbara O'Neill that caught my attention and got all this going. Let's go, y'all.
I drink water, I'm just running to the bathroom all day. And some people say, but if I drink water, my legs swell. Do you know what that tells me? The water is not getting inside the cell. So how do we help the water get into the cell? There are 4 vital elements needed for life. Third vital element needed for life is sodium. You think about it, we're salty people. Our tears are salty, our blood's salty. Baby swims in utero in salt water. Seawater. Let's have a look at the largest concentration of sodium we find in seawater. It has 92 minerals. 30% of those 92 minerals is sodium and 50% is chloride, approximately. And because they're the minerals in the largest amount, what man does is he scoops off the sodium chloride crystals, bleaches it white, puts aluminium with it, and comes up with table salt. And unfortunately, sometimes it's called sea salt. So be careful when they see sea salt. Contains how many minerals? 2. And these are such harsh minerals that if you were to inject them straight into the blood, the person would die. And if you mix a teaspoon of table salt with a cup of water, that amount, and fill up a whole tank and put the fish from the sea into that solution, they all die. So it's actually a dangerous salt. It's actually a poison. And when it goes into the body thinks it's getting all of those minerals, but it's not. It's just getting 2. And it causes an imbalance in and out of the cell. But the salt that we use is Celtic. And the Celtic salt, and it's called the Celtic salt because it's hand harvested by the traditional Celtic method. It's in Brittany, in France, 4.5 million acres of these beautiful salt flats. It's a bit more money than others because you're looking at a traditional hand-harvested sea salt. So the Celtic salt, it contains 82 minerals. How come not 92? Some are in such pico proportions, barely measurable, that it's inevitable that a few are lost. And one of the values of the Celtic salt is that it contains 3 magnesiums. And that's why it's so moist, because magnesium is a water-hungry molecule. And that's why the true Celtic salt will always be wet, because of the property of magnesium, that it's a water-hungry molecule. When you put that Celtic salt in your mouth and you crunch it and you release those minerals, the Mucous membranes in your mouth absorb the minerals and it's taken to the cell. Then you have your water. The magnesium pulls the water inside the cell. It's the quickest way to hydrate a body. If I drink water, I'm just running to the bathroom.
All right, so that video, also the TikTok acknowledgments for the person who captured that clip and created the video on TikTok. Acknowledgments to that channel. Now, that was a lot of information, real quick. A lot of information, real quick, and breaking it down real quick. Again, greetings to everyone. Greetings to my sister, Sheba Batista from her YouTube channel. I appreciate you as always for being here and supporting the platform, as well as Seba, Peru, Kushinaga. Great to see you here. Great to see you here. I'm not seeing you in here in a little bit. At least you've not commented in here live. So it's good to see you doing a live, and everyone else who is live. Those who are not being acknowledged right now, I know some people have private pages versus the public pages and all that great stuff. So that's just my time right here for acknowledgments, and let this sink in what we just observed in whichever manner. You heard it, you saw it, you heard it, and you saw it. You was writing down notes or capturing screenshots of what she was creating on her board as she was speaking. Now, again, the shock and awe to me, it did not necessarily come from this video. This video of hers, I was absorbing it. The shock and awe is to see the feedback that I'm about to share with you all now. Not now, but real soon. Well, yeah, let's first talk a little bit about what she just shared. And then I'm gonna look at the public overall view and some portions of parts of the overall public view against Barbara O'Neill. Okay, so we're looking at number one, addressing the water not going into the cells. Now, right now, I'm taking her word for what she said. Of course, I'd have to go into some study. Us would, and go and verify what she say is what she is saying. But the concept right now so far does not surprise me, because yes, when I'm drinking my water, especially lately, I'm drinking a lot more water, and I'm in the company of others, and I see myself going to the restroom more than them. And it ain't no little tinkle to where, people like, oh, she got urinary tract infections symptoms. No, I'm like literally like letting go of water, each time. And I've had this thought process before, but it's somewhere in my archives in here, but I let it go, and I'm drinking more water right now for other purposes. Now, to have the water, okay, yes, so there's definitely this commercial appearance that we drink water to hydrate. And there's those electrolyte beverage brands that have you hydrate your body. And so, yes, I'm really like, how much am I hydrating my body when I am drinking this water? And it's like, it's literally coming right back out. So I'm like, how much of what I just drank attached to me? It can't be much, because the rest of it's coming out. So it's like, I'm not even about to go into it, but the hydration thing is something else, because when it comes to these waters that they are selling in the market, the encouragement is to drink, to hydrate yourself, and they discuss our sales and all those other things. Now, everyone has a different experience in their body when it comes to what we intake. So your story is your story. Right now, this is mine. So Barbara also went into discussing the sodium being the third vital element for us. Also, I've had my share of experience where I had high blood pressure at a time, and a doctor would tell me for over the period of time, a doctor would tell me, well, don't eat salt, don't eat salt, don't use salt, cut back on the table salt. And I cut back, but my blood pressure was at that time still high. Later, I had a doctor tell me, well, it's not the salt, it's the sodium that's affecting your blood pressure. So I'm like, okay, I could go for that. But at the same time, there's like sodium in things out other than table salt. So I'm like, I'm taking in sodium in other places I'm sometimes not even aware of. And that was before I start reading the ingredients on contents of items. So I was like, what's a little table salt gonna hurt? So I kept using the table salt. And I've heard some other teachers on social media years ago discuss salt and how that all works. So anyway, salt has been a trivial subject for me. And so then recent times I have switched to sea salt, thinking that it was something different, something better for me. And now hearing from Barbara O'Neill, sea salt is what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial. Controversial is the sea salt, which is why I later switched to make sure it was pink Himalayan sea salt. You know, it's just like the salt thing. What's with the salt thing? And then later, I did hear about the Celtic salt, and I have Celtic salt. In my granddaughter's shop, the Moonfox shop, she has in her products Celtic sea salt. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm giving her, shouting her out, go over to the Moonfox shop and look at the natural products that are made there. Her banner's in the end, at the bottom of your screen. Okay. And definitely, how is your day over at the Moonfox shop? Check her out. So I'm familiar with table salt is my record here. Sea salt, Himalayan, pink Himalayan sea salt, Celtic salt, all that stuff. Okay. So it's like, now what, you know? So right now, Barbara's video, this the clip from that video of her lecture has me on another path to check out what salt. Sometimes I'm like, no salt. And so definitely I'm putting this in my archives, because as we go in life, we change, we grow on our journey. So one point in life, I may need to make adjustments according to the message information that I received from Barbara O'Neill, and or with my time here on the platform and in other walks of life, I may need this information to share out with someone else. So definitely I'll tell them to skip ahead in the video somewhere, because right now I'm left the point of Barbara's teachings and went off on my own little journey share right now. But I appreciate y'all hearing me out, because we all have a story. And if y'all could be here and share your story, that would be great too. So I'm glad we're here to get what we're getting. Now, furthermore, Barbara went on to talk about if this salt, so we're intaking the salt, some is orally. I've heard somebody somewhere, I think it was New World Tarot, she was discussing with people how to bathe in salt, like people used to do back in the ancient times. Just salt is all you need, not soap. So I'm gonna check into that too. So, and of course, as we touch things, we take it in through the touch. There's different ways to intake salt. So this method, Barbara said the person would die if it's injected straight into their blood. It's a poison, is the reference she made. And the same with the fish. If you put it straight into their water, they die. So, and speaking of dyes, DIE, we looking at the DYE. Bleaching, this has been bleached. It will be bleached and on the shelf, and people will buy it. Where there's bleach and all kind of other things we use as well, and we consume them. But I'm just looking at, this is terrible. This is terrible society. This is terrible what's happening. The bleach, and whoever's mentioning bleach that's crazy. And poisons and things, elements, these straight into our blood. It's just like disastrous. Now, Barbara also mentioned Brittany and France, and where Celtic salt has the 82 minerals and is handcrafted. A lot of times I've seen recently how foods in other countries are more nutritional and they have less ingredients than what we receive here. Now, I've seen that with my own eyes. I've seen the posts on social media with the same information I'm sharing right now. So, far as I know, it's real. So it definitely has me watching what I am consuming. And if I'm consuming something that's foul, I at least know it's foul. You know, I'm making that choice to put foulness in my body versus being irresponsible and taking the word for somebody of what they have, what the product is, and to assume that's what's on the ingredients label is the only thing that's in the ingredient label. Because in a world, and we might have to do another broadcast on that, where in factories so many rat hairs are allowed in the chocolate, so many flies or cockroach legs or something is allowed in the ketchup. I mean, those items are not listed on the ingredients, but they're allowed. I don't see rat hairs in my chocolate bar on the ingredient list, but it's in there, you know? So that was the point I was making. Just because everything that's in that item is not on that ingredient list, is not. And we're not even going to talk about right now today about the things that's on or in your food after it leaves the manufacturing site, where salmonella come in. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on the T-shirt and no panties on video. Salmonella come in, just people touching stuff, fruits. Grocery stores got recalls on fruits, produce, vegetables, because people's in there touching it, looking at it, putting it back, or they talking over it in conversation with somebody else, or talking to themselves, or coughing over it, sneezing on it. And people just, I see people in the store myself pick up the produce and just start eating it. Some of them will wipe it and then eat, but I'm like, oh, I get disgusted. Like, you won't even wipe that off. Just, we all have our different backgrounds and upbringings. I promise you it's real. Without even a promise, you know it's real. So, either way, that's my feedback on things that are not of a Karmic Dynasty view. I just shared Karmic Dynasty's view in regards to what we're looking at from Barbara O'Neill and what she shares. All right, so right now I am going to go more into the Barbara O'Neill story because I thought it was just not right. It was unfair how she's being treated and or looked at. Now, again, I'm the outside looking in. I'm just now getting my exposure to Barbara O'Neill. Okay, so I did mention her YouTube channel. So you see it pulling up here, and you will go to the Self-Heal by Design and see her photo. She has videos here, and it looks like they were 4 years ago. So from what I saw so far, okay, and then she's got home remedies, and she's on here a few months ago. And she wrote Self-Heal by Design. So I'm thinking that's a book let's check in and hear her a little bit more, her voice.
And I thought, why so? And then I realized that antibiotics, the wonder drug of the 20th century, it's really overused, and it's actually a mold.
Exactly.
It's a penicillic acid. And Alexander Fleming, the guy who discovered it, he was so excited they tested dozens of different mold wastes. 80% of the rats it was tested on, it killed them.
Wow.
So
Okay, how mindful. I just got done speaking on rats, and she's speaking of rats. You know, I'm not even going to go any further into that. Where I am going to go, I was going to share some images, but we see what she looks like, so I'm going to pass that up, and I'm going to go over here to the Wikipedia article, because I did share how there are mainstream views of her that I think are unfair at this time, because I don't have any other. My experience and exposure to Barbara O'Neill is short-lived so far. So as I continue to look into her, but right now I'm most times good with reading people to a level and energy, and I really right now don't see or have any issues with her and what she's sharing. And we know in these days and times there are certain things that this world that we're in over here in America don't want us to be exposed to, or don't want us to know about. They don't want it to be mainstream, because how dare you say there's a cure for something? Don't do that. Don't say there's a cure. Don't say you found a cure. Don't say that this leaf is the end of everything diseased in our bodies, and just don't come with that natural content. Natural's not risk. You need a pharmacy, you need a doctor to prescribe it. That's what I've heard in my life, and right now that's all I know that I've experienced that stands to be the gospel. Get you a doctor. Did a doctor prescribe it? Did a doctor get that to you? And then they want to give you an eyebrow. They want to eyebrow you if you're talking about anything else. That's right now the vibe I'm getting. So I'm going to share with y'all right now some more of how this world viewpoint is coming for Barbara. All right, so reading, I'm going to pull this up a little more. Barbara O'Neill, born July 28, 1953, is an Australian alternative healthcare provider. So first of all, she ain't an American would be the argument. She's not an American, and she's Australian. So it's possible that she grew up with different viewpoints than the messages that we received growing up here in the Americas. And she just liked to share her viewpoint and her experience from an Australian point of view. That's possible. I'm just reading from the first sentence. I ain't even finished the first sentence. So right now I'm hypothesizing and assuming, and I'm telling you, a lot of people come with a great heart. They have great intentions, and because the world they come from is different than what's experienced here in North America. Y'all know what I'm talking about is real. So let me start over. Barbara O'Neill is an Australian alternative health care promoter. Alternative medicine, in case you need to know, is any practice that aims to achieve the healing effects of medicine, despite it lacks biological plausibility, testability, repeatability, or evidence of effectiveness. Now, the only way a statement can really truly be made like this is if they have the evidence to back that up. That's what they're going to say alternative means. I don't know. Alternative to them means somebody's trying something the same way that the scientists tried something to make it a product, a pharmaceutical product that they have the companies issuing and being distributed through the doctors in these hospitals and clinics. Those was tested out. The healing effects of medicine, as if medicine is the top tier of an example and not the idea of the aim that all possibilities should achieve. That's what I'm reading here. If it's not a medicine, they don't want to hear it. If it didn't pass through their tests and trials, they didn't even want to hear it. It's any practice that aims to achieve the healing effects of medicine, despite lacking biological plausibility. There's been biological plausibility. There's been testability and repeatability and evidence of effectiveness. People who look at so-called alternative ways, they have evidence somewhere. That's why they bring it. It just wasn't certified, stamped, approved, and approved for distribution. Because it goes on to say, unlike modern medicine, what about the medicines before modern times? Those aren't any good. Those, they unshelved those. They got expiration dates on those because they're not modern. What happened to all the medicines before modern time? And what defines modern? Y'all know I'm about to go off on a tangent. I feel it. What defines modern? Like, what date does the modern time start on the timeline? 1821? No, 2024? No, because it ain't 2024. That's modern to me. Modern is right now. Do we need to go look at the definition of modern? Do I feel like that today? Let's look up modern. Modern. I know it. Timeline. Let's look up timeline. And they ain't gonna show it how I'm looking for it. What is considered modern times? Thank you. My being got me. Modern age. Oh, we're speaking of modern age or modern time or modern era. Contemporary history. Let's go in here to Wikipedia because it'll send you everywhere. Modern age. Is that what they said over here? Modern medicine. Okay, well, first of all, modern and medicine, they would have to go together. Okay. The modern era or modern period, known as modern times, the period of human history that succeeds the post-classical era, also known particularly reference to Europe as the Middle Ages, which ended around 1500 AD, up to the present. This terminology is a historical periodization that is applied primarily to European and Western history. Okay. Early modern, late modern, contemporary history refers to the period following the World War II in 1945 and continuing to the present. Okay, so also, let me roll back because they said modern medicine, didn't they? To be specific, for those who want to. And I said when I started this, I was going to do my best to watch my wording, but this Karmic Dynasty, and this, we unscripted over here, so I'm doing my best because I'd like for this video to stay, but I will put and edit where I need to. This video will be on Karmic Dynasty. Modern medicine. Can we? I said modern medicine. I'm over here on this other tab. My bad, y'all didn't see that. Modern medicine. They don't want to say that. They just want to say med. Okay. So modern medicine. What's the tabs? Middle Ages medicine. Modern. So we talking about 1761 is a date in here. 1880. Modern scientific biomedical research. That's modern medicine. began to replace early Western traditions based on herbalism, the Greek four humors, and other such pre-modern notions. The modern era really began with Edward Jenner's discovery of the smallpox vaccine. So we talking about, yeah, I said 1800. I was being facetious for real. 1800s to 2024. I heard somebody saying breathing. Tell her to breathe. Tell her to breathe. I give my water. Tell her to breathe. I'm breathing. Drinking my water. Damn it. All right. Unlike modern medicine, which employs the scientific method to test plausible therapies by way of responsible and ethical, is probably what they say. Responsible and ethical clinical trials, producing repeatable evidence of either effect or of no effect. Alternative therapies reside outside of mainstream medicine and do not originate from using the scientific method, but instead rely on testimonials, anecdotes, religion, tradition, superstition, belief in supernatural energies, pseudoscience, errors in reasoning, propaganda, fraud, or other unscientific sources. Frequently used terms for relevant practices are New Age medicine, pseudoscience medicine, unorthodox medicine, holistic medicine, fringe medicine, and unconventional medicine, with little distinction from quackery. Oh my dear, y'all know I cannot stand these definition terms and how they just want to shut. I'm telling you, it's the medical people. Y'all know what I'm trying to say right now. The medical community don't want to hear you. All they got to do is stamp the word alternative medicine to you, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you. You have no credibility, and you just looked at as possibly a quack. They is so disrespectful. Just one term, and how you messed up. One term, one phrase will how you messed up. Hey, Cody. They over here getting on my nerves. I'm not trying to deal. So and you know what? They didn't say this first sentence alone. I probably just spent a half hour talking about it. How long I've been here? Okay, I'm 38 minutes into this video. Barbara O'Neill is an Australian native. I mean, why did it straight have to break out and put alternative health care right in front of her, right on the other side of her name? She's nothing else other than this. Because they want to shut you down from the gate before you look any further into her or her alternative health care promotions. And then known for advertising dangerous and unsupported health practices and ideas. Now, first of all, the dangerous, I'm gonna need another hour to talk about that. Where is the proof? Y'all gonna accuse her of advertising dangerous health practices and ideas? Dangerous is this, where's my face at? Dangerous is this bleached salt that's sitting on people's tables for dinner. That's dangerous. And that didn't come from Barbara O'Neill. Who that come from? It's on the shelves at the grocery store. So I'm pretty sure the FDA, somebody approved that. FDA, USDA, they got these products that they put on these shelves. Oh, we're not even going to talk about the cereal aisle. The dangerous. How they just want to cut people up. Just cut her up from the first sentence. dangerous, and unsupported health practices and ideas. Now, y'all know, for those of you who don't know, I don't care how it sounds right now, but I studied this English language. I had a whole scholarship in writing in English. I had a whole scholarship. I'm telling you right now, so it's easy for me to see these crazies done, what you call that word? When you go against yourself. Hypocrites. They is contradicting, and they is being redundant. First of all, unsupported health practices and ideas was already discussed in this right here, alternative medicine definition. So they had to say it twice. Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, moving forward. She previously presented these treatments at alternative medicine organizations, wellness retreats, and Seventh-day Adventist churches, despite not having any recognized qualifications and failing nursing training. The business, they trying to put her business out there. Y'all know what? I had nurses training. I didn't, you ain't, first of all, again, but as they said, if you ain't certified, if you don't have a degree, if you didn't spend 8 years of your life in college and get their stamp of approval, you alternative. So that means you have no credentials at all. There's enough of us who didn't even never go to nurses training to fail it or succeed at it. Yet we know what works and what does not. I do not like where this Wikipedia article is going. It's disgusting. And it ain't even Wikipedia. I'm just giving y'all a little bit right now. And again, I don't plan to be here long. So I'm giving y'all enough right now as my intent for you to go and check out Barbara yourself. And what they say around these parts, get the meat, spit out the bone. Get y'all that meat or that message from her and spit out them bones. Go over there and check out her YouTube channel and subscribe to her. And also, I got a few more things I want y'all to check out and know and get and know more about her. Goodness, because this Wikipedia article about her is getting on my other side. She is married to Michael O'Neill. We'll discuss him a little bit later. The founder of the Informed Medical Options Party. Let's look at that. The Informed Medical Options Party, formerly known as the Involuntary Medication Objectors Vaccination Fluoride Party, was an Australian political party. The party's policies oppose compulsory vaccination programs and water fluoridation. Either way, she's married to Michael O'Neill, the founder of the Informed Medical Options Party, an anti-vaccination and anti-fluoride political party. Let's look at what does anti-vaccination mean. Anti-vaccine activism, also called the anti-vax movement, is organized activity designed to increase vaccine hesitancy, often by disseminating misinformation or disinformation. Although myths, conspiracy theories, misinformation, and disinformation spread by the anti-vaccination movement. No previews? Okay, y'all finna go watch that yourself. Fluoride is an inorganic monatomic anion of fluorine with the chemical formula F, whose salts are typically white or odorless. Fluoride salts typically have distinctive bitter taste and are odorless. Its salts and minerals are important chemical reagents and industrial chemicals mainly used in the production of toothpaste is probably what it's going to say. So go read some more and check that out. Now, I'm going to leave this right here. I'm leaving this alone. Right now, quick, I'm going to run this commercial for the Moonfox shop, where there are tooth products, tooth clays. You brush, you use these in place of that toothpaste you've been using. So she's got the tooth powders, the tooth clays. Check her out. Her banner's here. This is also a nonprofit organization. And so on this, when you do shop, when you are shopping, you will receive 0 tax when you checking out your cart. I got some boxes right here. Speaking of my hand moving, there's some orders of the Moonfox shop going out Monday. And so this the Moonfox brand. You're gonna see it when you go over there to the shop, moonfoxday.shop. And she wants to know, how is your day? So when you're over there, you can leave a review. Okay. But over there in Moonfox shop, she provides fluoride-free tooth products. So they come in a clay form or powder form. And there's about 4 or 5 flavors over there. Y'all check it out. That's my granddaughter. I know Cody about to come with that stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead over there to her shop and share with y'all. How about that? So on the Moonfox shop, no shipping. Okay, so no tax and no shipping charge. Is it shipping? Shipping? Yeah, no tax. Now, if you contact me directly and place an order, then I'll take care of your shipping. There are some coupons floating around out there, but you have to know where to get them. But if you contact me directly and place your order, I will take off your shipping charge because you already not paying any tax over there in that cart. So you here, and you can use this tab, Browse and Shop, or you can scroll on down to her pretty little face and select Browse and Shop. And you would go past the beautiful Ayala Renee Natural Detox Foot Care products. Also some more coming soon. Lana's Art. Check her out. Get some of that art. And Moonfox in the Kitchen, where she has great things like kale chips, that green leafy vegetable in a chip form, some jerky, some chocolates, some vanilla extract. Because after all that, you have to come over here to the Moonfox wellness page and get you some tooth products to brush your teeth after some of that goodness. So she has the Japanese peppermint mouth detox and the Moroccan mint clay, the Moroccan mint tooth powder, the cran ginger tooth powder, and I think those are her products on the tooth side. Yeah, the rest of them are soaps and the refill packs for the cran ginger tooth powder and the Moroccan mint tooth powder. There are refill packs. So in the refill packs, you will not pay for, the glass packaging of the jar. You're just going to pay for, it comes in a plastic-free packaging. So your cost is less for that reason. Because who needs a bunch of extra jars? If you do, you can go ahead and order the regular price. I'm sure they will ship it to you, no problem. But yes, get these made to order food grade tooth products in plastic free packaging. All right, so that's my message over here from the Moonfox shop. Right now, we are going to the part where I said we're going to hear more about Michael O'Neal. Let me switch out these banners. I appreciate y'all. Now, the assassination of Barbara O'Neal. Now, crazy thing is, honestly, and I was mad about it and I'm laughing at myself because I was mad about it. When after the brief of the Wikipedia, it wasn't even Wikipedia I saw the, when I went to look for Barbara O'Neal, I saw the description next to her of alternative medicine. And then over on the other side, I saw some pages talking crazy about her. So I said, I'm not about to look at that stuff. I'm gonna go check out Wikipedia. And I see today, I just put Wikipedia up in the tabs to save it for the broadcast, but I see the Wikipedia over there talking crazy about her. But in the meantime, that day, I saw the assassination of Barbara O'Neal. I was like, what? They did what? Why would somebody do that to her? But this book the author is Michael O'Neal, which also gave me a second glance like, He had to write this book about his wife. This don't make no sense. And on the cover here, you will see it says how the media and the friends of science, hold on, because I don't have to do that. How the media and Friends of Science in Medicine Association used the HCCC to destroy a voice for rational natural health. So her husband wrote this book. We're going to look at the back cover. How could a 66-year-old grandmother who gave her life, let me pull this up so y'all can see more, to helping people with their health become the subject of a malicious smear campaign, which resulted in her being classified as a serious threat to public health in Australia. You know, I said what I said from reading a Wikipedia article. I'm glad he wrote this book. I need y'all to go check this book out. In the absence of a single case of actual harm, the Healthcare Complaints Commission of New South Wales theorized potential harm could arise if people follow Barbara's health advice. This book exposes the hypocrisy of the organization Friends of Science in Medicine, who act as friends of science, but are in reality pharmaceutical apologists and the enemies of truth in medical science. Barbara became collateral damage in the war of any dissent from mainstream medical dogma. There's a quote here: I have found Barbara's health advice to be effective and based on practical health promoting principles of lifestyle medicine, which is at the cutting edge of healthcare today and of the future. And that's from PK, registered and practicing pharmacist, NSW, Australia. Next quote says, mainstream science was not able to help me for 30 years. Without the knowledge and the enthusiasm by Barbara O'Neill, I would still be always tired and depressed. Wilma Vandenberg from Zaandam, the Netherlands. Last quote. I thank Barbara for sharing all her wisdom and knowledge. I was sick and getting sicker, but now I just keep getting better. Shirley Cohen, Thungudi Tribe, NSW. Michael O'Neill is the husband of Barbara. He has been involved in natural health care for 35 years, managing health retreats in 3 states in Australia, worked as a wellness center consultant in many countries internationally, is the founder of the Informed Medical Options political party in Australia, and ran for a seat in the Australian Senate in 2019. Michael offers a firsthand perspective on the attack against his wife, Barbara. I need y'all to check this book out. I originally read a small excerpt from the book, but I'm just now seeing that. So there's a staple bound copy, $44.75. Go check it out. Definitely. Okay, read the sample. Let's read a sample of this right quick. The degree of ferocity and irrationality in the attack on Barbara O'Neill took thousands of people by surprise. It was an unwarranted smear campaign on a truly humble and caring lady who had devoted her life to helping people arrive at healthier and happier way of living. There was not a single complaint from anyone whom Barbara had treated, and so the attack came down to theorizing on potential risk from the information Barbara taught. This episode is part of a war on natural health more broadly. We are witnessing a modern-day David and Goliath story in which smaller naturalists are victims of a massive purge by a mainstream medical orthodoxy driven by obscene amounts of revenue, ethically compromised regulatory bodies, conflicting media coverage, and a complaint government terrified of bad press. Health is a subject of mystery to the average layperson. People want good health, but are unable or disinclined to research or educate themselves as to the intricacies of how the human body functions, what is the best way to live, and how to treat disease. Why should we, the majority think, We live in an enlightened age with the very best science that is decimating disease, or at least always on the verge of doing so. We have doctors, hospitals, vaccinations, medication, and Medicare who will act and advise us in accordance with the most scientifically advanced treatments. They are above corruption, and my welfare is their primary concern. If only that were true. The case of Barbara O'Neill is a glaring example of abuse of power, omission of facts, and a bias system that has become a tool of persecution against those who in any way deviate from the mainstream medical theories of the day. This is not about science. This is about dogma. In an age of so-called enlightenment and tolerance, Barbara's story showcases exactly the opposite, absolute hypocrisy in practice. This is a story that must be told. The creeping cancers of ignorance and intolerance in the health industries compromises true science and binds the people it is supposed to protect to a dogma enforced by fear and persecution. The result, fear on the part of the general public who trust the system, and persecution of any heretics who dare question the status quo or hold a different opinion. While overall, science continues to make great advances in various fields, health science remains captive to select powers that accrue phenomenal financial wealth from the sale of their products, and so act to prevent true scientific advancements in health. Research, opinions, and conclusions that do not lead to pharmaceutical treatments are scuttled and maligned. During the time of Chairman Mao in China, Joseph Stalin in the USSR, and Adolf Hitler in Germany, a mere complaint against someone could lead to conviction and resulted in a loss of life, freedom, career, reputation, and/or assets. Once a complaint was lodged and the person in question came under suspicion, it was almost impossible to recover. This technique was used effectively by certain people to deal with their enemies or competitors and constituted a vile travesty of justice. There are clear parallels in reporting and conviction in the reporting and conviction of Barbara O'Neill. There are clear parallels in the reporting and conviction of Barbara O'Neill. We supposedly live in a so-called democratic society, but behind the scenes, the very worst excesses of totalitarian injustice are being practiced against innocent citizens by unelected bureaucrats through phony trials that bypass the rule of law. For example, government departments such as the Healthcare Complaints Commission have devised regulations so that they can issue a guilty verdict upon anyone. Minor infractions can be escalated to mammoth proportions and portrayed in such a way that it seems as if the well-being of society hinges on a single prosecution. So here is Michael, the author of this book, about the story, a part of Barbara O'Neill's story. As for me, I'm over here disgusted. But it's just another story. We've heard them all before. I just had like to bring this story to you. I also just had like to want to look into it while I'm with you all and see what everyone had to say. Again, I appreciate you all being here. Basically, everything I started out saying in this broadcast, her husband summed it up and some for me. The synopsis is real. From Michael O'Neill. I promise I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it's just how they came out. It's real. So I'm glad that is brought forward for everyone to check into for themselves. Again, you are watching from your respective channel, Karmic Dynasty. I am Joy Ishram. I am glad for everyone that was able to be here and to take anything from this content this evening. Was evening where I'm at, not sure what's going on with where you're at. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate men like Michael O'Neill who stand up and be a voice for his wife. I appreciate those like Barbara O'Neill who stand up and walk through what she has walked through to have herself heard. Because her intention, she knows what her intention is. And now I'm looking like, because I done put the Moonfox stuff up here, it's natural products. Our intention was to not have people deal with fluoride. That's why we have the fluoride-free tooth products. Our intention was for people to not have those harsh chemicals in the soaps. That's why we came with those natural ingredient soaps, that you can read the ingredients and you can see for yourself what's in it, and you can pronounce everything on the ingredient list, to have snacks to where there was no red dyes, yellow dyes, all this stuff in your kale chips. The kale chip is a green leafy vegetable, dehydrated with that crispy crunch you get from the chips, potato chips, hot Cheetos. Woo! So easily the term alternative can be projected this way, placed on, put out there, and then Moonfox shop looking at how to deal with being called alternative and all of the things we discussed today, because they're not scientifically proven. The doctor didn't badge it, wasn't certified, and all this other stuff. And then they would put what? I failed nursing training, or on me. This is how they do people. We just want what's natural. We want what's best, a lot of us. And we do, and we go by the way we have and we will, to receive those results and not be in pain, and to achieve more in life, because we have the body function to do so. So some can look at, well, this is Barbara, that's her story, that happened to her. It could happen to you. It could happen to someone you know. And then that affects what is out there for you as an option to think about taking to your doctor to get the advice from your doctor and to know how to apply it to your life, if that's what you're choosing to do. I know, and I'm going to leave here. I received a diagnosis, and my doctor was in a position to send that prescription over to the apothecary, and for them to make the adjustments of the natural kind versus the prescription, where they have the inactive ingredients. And I was like, they want me to take something to achieve better health. Why would they put anything inactive in it? Prescriptions, those over the counters, they include inactive ingredients. And at the apothecary, they remove those inactive ingredients. So all things are active in your body when you're working on being so great. You know what I mean? So I'm done here. I'm a little bit longer than I planned to be. But hey, what is time? That's a whole nother broadcast. I will see y'all here tomorrow, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Karmic Dynasty, speaking of time. And we will be here to discuss more on our health, the health of a person. And again, as always, I appreciate you being here on Karmic Dynasty. And wellness, peace, and wholeness to you on your continuous prosperous journey.